Well, after an extremely long day waiting on the beach for some wind, the race control officers have been very, very patient, and they have got us out here in a dying breeze, but there is enough to get these boys foiling just so we are in the 3-minute sequence ready for the first start of today, and it's very late here in the afternoon, but hopefully these boys will be able to get up and foil and at least get a race off, so all the effort of rigging and getting wet wetsuits will be worth it. I'm once again joined by the team here at Liv Saldai and Sue Ellen. Long day.
Very long day, but it's okay. We're just about to get away for this start. The 1 minute, we're in the 1 minute. We're actually only a few seconds away from the start, and you can see the guys, they're starting to pump up so they can jump up on those foils and hit the line at pace, and it's going to happen. Dorian is just in front of that, behind that blue sail there. He's pumping hard. Let's see who takes this start win.
And it looks like the breeze might have gone a hard left because they're only just making. Dorian couldn't actually make it. Neither could our other competitor there in Elliot Carney from Great Britain, but Ivan passed it with a nice start right on the pin, has nailed it, and Kieran Badlow just above him. Kieran is speedy, so Ivan has got a little bit of work to do to hold him off. But that breeze certainly caught him out, that little late left-hand shift.
Yeah, you saw that Dorian was pumping really hard to get to that line, and unfortunately, the wind gods were not in his favour on this occasion, and neither for poor Elliot.
Yes, but Ivan nailed it, so he is liking this light bit of pressure, and they are punching over towards the left-hand side. It's not a very long course, so they'll just make their way over here. There's definitely a lot more pressure on the left that's coming out of this rain band, so we're just right up underneath here. Ivan passed that, and still great shot there of Ivan. Just hope we don't run into him, but can't get much closer than that to a foil board without being on one. And you see what they're doing there. They've got their front hand holding their uphaul rope so they can keep the rig more up in the air to present more air sail to the wind.
The guys were getting pretty frustrated by sitting around and drifting and not getting up on the foils. I reckon by now they're absolutely fizzing being out here foiling. We've only got, what, about 5 knots?
Oh, if that. So you can see once they're up and going, they don't need much to continue on. A great shot here of Hill Hoekstra from the Netherlands. Sil's looking very nice indeed. I think I called him Hill, but his name is actually Sil.
We've been calling everybody by various names. It doesn't really matter. Actually, speaking of various names, I wonder how Gemma's friend, the Slug, is going today. Oh,
I haven't seen the Slug off the start at all. He might have decided to go home. There's a couple of the boys that just thought, nah, it's not going to go off. But the coaching team or the training team have all stayed out here.
And don't really, I mean, this is pretty shit right now because it's raining. Why is it raining?
Because that is just the way it is. And we are still under Sil coming in towards the ley line. Ivan, who nailed the tack, or nailed the start, has just tacked. And they are going to come into this lay on an absolute hot as angle. These boys are going far left. There's a heap of boards over to the right, so it'll be interesting to see who has got the better. It looks like the left is the best to me, but I'm not an Olympic pro champion, that's for sure.
Yeah, no, neither am I. We're amateur at best of times, but these guys are teaching us a fair amount of lessons, and we're pretty excited with the tech talk that we had with Kieran, Dorian, and the man himself, Aaron McIntosh, talking about the foils, talking about the rigs, talking about getting the class into the Olympic Games. So hopefully that can happen, because this is awesome to watch. And I know we're a little bit far away at the moment, but these guys go so fast, and even this light amount of breeze, it's taken a fair bit for this bus to catch up to them. Yeah,
and the big left-hand shift has definitely caught Ivan out. He was the first off the pin. He went way over and didn't look what was going on, but the guys on the inside have got the big shift, and they are leading over towards this top mark. So even the best, you know, they've sat around all afternoon. They're very, very tired. They haven't been focusing. They get out here. They need to switch on, because I think that's Kieran Badlow just going in around the mark now. He obviously tacked a lot earlier than anyone else. NZL4 in Bruce Trotter, one of the older statesmen of the fleet. There's no doubt about that. He is a local, and he is about to go around in second spot.
I reckon Bruce Trotter is teaching these young guys a lesson as well, and that was one of the really good things we learnt earlier, is the fact that foils have been introduced onto these boards is bringing back the older generation into the sport.
And one of the young generation is a Big Paddy. He is in for third, so he'll be loving this because he is one of the upcoming New Zealand sailors. So we're stuck here at the top mark now. We have one of the two guys that hit that pin in Sill. He's trying to go up. He just done a tack there, so you can see the breeze is very, very tricky. And most of the guys now are falling off the foil, so that is not good.
Oh, well, you know, they're here to train, they're here to practice, they're here to get better. So I guess the conditions, it's a bit of a, oh well, tough luck. Guys, get out there and work for it.
And the big news, I guess, is the two hotshots in Dorian van Roosenberg and Kieran are almost last. They're just coming in. Here's Antonio as well. So they got caught out. I think they were the crew that went over to the right, and they just got caught out massive by that left-hand shift. There
was always also a few that I think stuffed up the starting sequence as well.
And it's not often you see this, but a two-time Olympic gold medalist, Dorian van Roosenberg, is last in this fleet. He would not be liking that. And you can see by his body language, he's just thinking, I would love to be having a little frothy at the moment.
Yeah, Dorian wasn't too impressed when we said he had to come out and play. I think he was enjoying the banter on shore. And let's get a little bit of a wave from young Dorian.
He is just showing us there that he is so excited. He is about to explode. So, a bit of low foiling action here. We're just going to follow Dorian. Dorian, I'm not sure whether you can hear us, and I'm not sure whether you'll be able to hear us, but are you having fun? So he's driving off to go over. There's a nice little bit of left-hand pressure as we're looking uphill. He's going to get on that and be down to that bottom mark before you know it.
And for those who may not have been able to hear, Dorian was just having a mid-race cry. These things happen. It happens to the best in the world. The dummy gets spat, but it's okay. He'll come back and he'll be firing on all cylinders.
We'll try and maybe stay on him. We're getting circled by the boat, but it's just gone light. So that the top half of the fleet are still foiling. It's just way up in this very top end of the course. She's a little bit puffy, and it's a little bit of a lottery.
Lottery, yeah. I'm not really good at lottery either, so, you know, the luck of the draw is failing for everybody at the moment.
Absolutely, and we are still waiting for the leaders to get down towards the bottom of the course. So they are doing massive amounts of jibe. You see there Aaron McIntosh pumping away quite hard. Oh, and trying to get up on the foils. And there he is up on the foils. And when I said that Dorian was last, that was yet another mistake. This is what we call a silver fleeter. A young gun trying to have a go. Oh, he's not happy. He just pumped his little hiney off. This is young Thomas Crook from New Zealand. Do you know much about Thomas?
No, I don't know much about Thomas, but we're going to write his name down and etch it in our brain because, you know, he's out here mixing it with the world's best. So no doubt he will be on the championship ladder at some point in his career.
And I reckon he's pretty shitty right now. And he's trying to just get up around this gate. He's going to have to tack. He's going to hate life.
He is going to hate life. But you know what? To have the bad days makes the good days better, doesn't it?
Oh, apparently.
You have to say that to stay positive during these shitty, light, rainy, horrible, non-foiling days.
Just try to tell that to young Thomas here, who's just about to go through his final tack and his approach to the top gate. And there's a little bit of breeze over to the right-hand side, so if he can do a nice little pump here, he might get up and foiling and start heading to the leaders who are down the bottom end and on their way back uphill.
Well, you know, I got nothing. Hang on, I was trying to concentrate on filming. Hang on a
Young Thomas is just going through a jibe and he's just thinking, I'm going to be a Winnie One design here and go straight downhill. I think what you'll find is they'll all have the same size rig because otherwise that would be a little bit of a disadvantage. And we have Kieran back up to the top here, so he has made nice gains getting down there, staying on the foils, back up and back around. So From adversity, it becomes something, and that's what he's done. He's obviously stayed with the wind all the way down to the bottom, been able to fall all the way up the top, and he's pretty much just lapped young Thomas. So we'll follow him down towards the finish. He was pretty deep, Kieran. He was just in front of Dorian. And Dorian is still making his way downhill, and Kieran's already done another lap. So that's what happens when you stay in the breeze in a falling boat.
Yeah, well, Dorian's brought the tissues out, had a bit of a cry as he's watched Kieran just nail this race. And Kieran's been on fire this week.
Yes, he is pretty snappy. There's no doubt about that. We've just got NZL1, which is our man Antonio on screen. So he's made a bit of an effort on the way back too. But we're probably going to follow Kieran, who was great in watching the Tech Talk. Hopefully you guys pull that video up. If you're into windsurfing, foil windsurfing, or any windsurfing, pull up that video on Live Sail Die and check it out, because hopefully you get something out of it. We're going to have a nice little shot here of him going through a jibe. Just watch what he does with his feet. In he goes, into the middle. Front foot goes straight in the foot strap. Bang, away he goes. So nice little tutorial there on how to jibe. And he is on the smoke in towards the finish. So in around the jibe, the pin mark, and straight over through the finish. And I mean, he's done very well to come back, considering he was so deep in that first race.
Yep, that's why he is one of the best in the world, and it was really quite cool listening to him. He's very humble about his achievements.
Yeah, they're not stuck up by any stretch of the imagination, these boys, and they do love sharing their information. So that just makes for a very, very strong class, if you ask me. Just coming in camera here now is a little 12-year-old. His name is Matthew. We've done a nice little chat with him and the other 12-year-olds today. Matty's not foiling at this stage, but he's out here with the world's best. So no doubt he will be one of them quite soon. So if we can sort of get right up underneath Kieran here, I mean, probably 8 knots, and he'll be starting to push towards, I don't know, 18s, 19s of boat speed.
Absolutely. Coming across this line here, just looking smart, so fast. And there's not hardly any breeze.
And we've got a kiteboard race starting and a windfoil race finishing. So bang, there goes the kiteboards. And a bang, there goes Kieran in for a finish. So nice little bit of action there for the two fleets. And right in front of us is Dorian van Roosenberg, still getting down the bottom mark for the first time. So he has lapped them. We'll be back soon.
No.